up. Ice what? Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, poke it out, poke it out.
Okay, what is up, everyone? So today I'm gonna be doing a video. Yeah, I know, shocking, right? I'm starting back my schedule. Thank God. So I'll be posting videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you guys will be getting 3 videos a week, 2 streams a week, like normal. But I'll finally be back on my schedule so you can get those things. I'll be posting videos regularly. I'm gonna get the Discord back up and running. That week break really killed everything, but it's okay. I just need to get back on and do what I was doing. I apologize for being away for so long. It started with just my birthday weekend, but then kind of lost motivation here and there. YouTube doing whatever to my videos, slowing them, freezing the views, whatever. It's all whatever. But I'm not going to let any of that affect me anymore. I could care less about the views, whatever. We're going to go ahead and get into making content again. Thank God, because I've really been missing that piece of my life. So I'm acting like it's been like 3 months. It's been less than a week. But I've grown so attached to you guys and everybody involved in my little community. So it really sucks being away for what seems like so long. So I appreciate those who waiting for me. I'm back on my schedule. I never knew how bad it was to not have a schedule until just now. When I was frantically trying to post whenever I thought would be a good time, it just wasn't a good nuh-uh. So I'm glad that I'm back doing what I love doing and what I'm supposed to be doing over the summer. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me. So with that being said, today's video is going to be a video that I have been putting off for a while because I wanted to save it for a better time. What I mean by a better time is a time where content is super dry, no camp, no preseason, nothing like that. I'm going to be grading the off season. I understand the off season isn't over yet, but I mean the big splashes with free agency have come to an end. So I'm going to be grading free agency. I already graded the draft, but I'm grading free agency here, and we will talk about it in a second. The first thing I would like to talk about is what happened on March 11th, 2019. The New Orleans Saints went ahead and re-signed linebacker Craig Robertson and safety Chris Banjo. Craig Robertson was signed to a 2-year deal, and Chris Banjo was signed to a 3-year deal. Both of these were for special teams purposes, which is why I'm putting them together and because they happened on the same day. But they are both special team deals. These players were signed solely to help special teams. Craig Robertson and Chris Banjo also for depth purposes in case anybody gets hurt. But I'm going to give the Craig Robertson re-signing a C+, and the Chris Banjo re-signing a B+. And the reason why I'm giving Chris Banjo a higher grade than Craig Robertson is because Chris Banjo has shown, one, the ability to make plays on and off the field. That didn't make any sense. On the regular, normal NFL game field, and then also on the special teams side of things. He has literally shown so much versatility. I really like Chris Banjo. That's not me saying I don't like Craig Robertson. It's just he's getting older. He just seems like he has less value, which is why we signed him to a lesser contract with a lesser year base on it. He is showing less value to me by the year. Craig Robertson used to be a little mainstay on our horrible linebacking core, but now he's just a special teams guy who goes out there and does what he can. I really appreciate him, but I'm only going to be able to give him a C+ because his value is surely deteriorating. So yeah, Craig Robertson C+, Chris Banjo B+. Let's continue on with the list. Mom asked if you want anything from McDonald's.
Tell her. No, thank you.
What? On March the 13th, the New Orleans Saints made a move that, in my opinion, was one of the most slept-on moves made the entire offseason. I really dig this move. They re-signed kicker Will Lutz to a 5-year deal worth $20.25 million. I don't really know how his contract works, because I want to say it's per year, but I don't because he's a kicker, so I only think he gets $4 million a year. Whatever. And that made Will Lutz somehow the highest paid kicker in NFL history. I don't know if you guys knew that. I didn't know that until I was making this video. Will Lutz was apparently the highest paid kicker in NFL history. I forgot how little kickers got paid, which is sad because when you're deep into a game and the game's close, kickers are very, 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 very important, and they will win or will lose you a game, which we have experienced in the past. So going ahead and locking down the best kicker we've had in years in Will Lutz for 5 years, that's an A+. I give this one an A+. It's the first A+ of the video. Last year, Will Lutz kicked 30 times, made 28 of them. One of them was blocked, so he really missed 29, or one, I mean, sorry. He had a 93.3%, a 54-yard was his longest field goal, and he's only 24 years old, so he's going to have a lot of time. We need to keep Will Lutz around longer than the 5 years we're giving him right now. I understand we made him the highest paid kicker in NFL history for him to stick around for 5 years, but we need to keep him for as long as that leg is working because Will Lutz has accuracy. He has professionalism. He's calm. He can kick a field goal he can kick a football so accurately. Will Lutz is an all-around amazing, fantastic kicker, and giving him anything less than an A+ here would be straight up disrespectful. So let's move on to the next thing. On March the 13th, along with the Will Lutz deal, the New Orleans Saints went out and signed LATAVIUS Murray. They signed LATAVIUS Murray to a 4-year, $14 million deal, and I'm going to give this an A- because I really, really, really like the signing. I understand people would probably give this a B+, anything in the lower range, but I'm giving it an A- because I really think that LATAVIUS Murray can step in and do everything that Mark Ingram could. Not better, but up to par to where Alvin Kamara doesn't physically strain and drain out himself and get completely game planned and get shut down. So I think this can be another dual threat running back duo that was almost just as lethal as the whole boom and zoom type thing. So I really enjoy that we signed LATAVIUS Murray. 4 years, $14 million is not bad either. It is less than what we would have had to pay for Mark Ingram if his agent wasn't trying to cuck us out and force $8 million out of us a year. That's ridiculous. But this is definitely an A-. I think LATAVIUS Murray can go out and fill Mark Ingram's spot very nicely, so let's move on to the next one. On March the 14th, the New Orleans Saints signed Malcolm Brown. I'm giving this a B flat. I really think he's just a chess piece. He's a depth piece. But with the loss of Tyler Davison and the injury to Sheldon Rankins, he will most likely find playing time in the earlier part of the season because we lost Tyler Davison and Sheldon Rankins is hurt, so he will most likely be finding some type of playing time. He is a 2 to 5 sack a year type of guy, definitely a B-esque player, nothing more, nothing less. On March 15th, the New Orleans Saints signed Teddy Bridgewater to a 1-year, $7 million deal. This could be an F, this could be a D, this could be a C, a B, or an A+. I'm going to give it an A+, and the only reason I said it can vary so much is because we don't really know how Teddy Bridgewater is going to play after Drew Brees retires. He declined a starting job in Miami. He was going to start in Miami for more money, but chose to stay with the Saints for less money to ride the bench for a year. That tells you something about Teddy Bridgewater's character, what he thinks he can do in New Orleans, and what the people in New Orleans think he can do. The coaching staff is high on that kid, man, and I'm really excited to see him go out and play some football after Drew Brees retires. So I'm going to go ahead and give this an A+. I think I already said that, but the coaching staff, the players, are so high on him that I can't be excited can't not be excited for Teddy Bridgewater. Easy A+. Let's move on to the next part of the list. On the 15th of March, the Saints also signed Mario Edwards Jr., and I just gave this a big question mark. I don't know what his role is going to be yet. I don't know where he'll play. I'm just going to give this a question mark for now. Mario Edwards Jr. is one of the weirdest signings I've seen in a while. I'm just going to leave that alone and move on to the next one. On March 19th, I remember this signing like it was yesterday. I was in the middle of trying to go to sleep, and I made a video about it. The New Orleans Saints signed Nick Easton presumably to play center. It was a panic move, but he will probably play some type of guard or tackle now. He was 100% a panic replacement, and now that we drafted Eric McCoy, a first-round-esque center, he wasn't in the first round, but it was a first round. He's a first-round talent player is what I'm trying to say. But Nick Easton is now completely overpaid. 4-year, $22 million for a depth piece. That's tough. Panic replacement 100%. So I'm going to give this a C+. I liked the move when it happened. I thought I had high hopes for him. I thought he could come in and substitute pretty decently for Max Unger. But now that we have Eric McCoy and he's just falling into a depth spiral, we paid him $22 million, or we're paying him $22 million over 4 years. He's overpaid now. I can't really back this up anymore. So, yeah. On March 25th, the New Orleans Saints signed punt returner Marcus Sherels. I really didn't put how much. It was a 1-year deal. I didn't write that down for some reason, but it is a 1-year deal. Marcus Sherels is the first in punt return touchdowns, 5, and yards, 2,170 since 2012. Knowing, if you guys watched the New Orleans Saints last year, you would know that punt return and kick return, anything that had return in the name, was a struggle. Tommy Lee Lewis was a horrible punter, or a punt returner. I didn't like him as a punt returner at all. It was so bad that sometimes you'd have like 80-year-old Ted Ginn Jr. and Alvin Kamara, who plays every other position on the field, returning punts and returning kicks. Ridiculous. Marcus Sherels gets an A flat for me because he is a definite need. We filled the last kind of need that I thought we would, have with a punt returner. 100% justified. Love the signing. Wouldn't trade that for the world. Marcus Sherels, 100% steal. Y'all will see next year. Let's move on to the last and final move the Saints made during the March free agency frenzy. March 26th, the New Orleans Saints did something I was predicting they would do for months. Back in December, I made a video titled, "Who should the New Orleans Saints sign?" And then I would do each position, if y'all remember that. And tight ends, Jared Cook was my number 1. I said it was unrealistic, but I said that would be the best tight end realistically for us to sign. We signed him. This is 100% an A+. Jared Cook had 896 yards last year, 6 touchdowns on the Oakland Raiders. He now has a Drew Brees. This is going to be literally insane. What the Jared Cook signing is going to do, it's going to take pressure off of Michael Thomas. That is key. As you guys seen, I've mentioned this every time I talk about Jared Cook because it's so important to us. It's so important to the team. If you remember, Michael Thomas was getting doubled all last season towards the end, and now, when you have a guy like Jared Cook on the field, you can't really do that. Fantastic move. It took work. It took negotiations, but the Saints got the deal done. Jared Cook is a New Orleans Saint, and I couldn't be happier. So, if you go ahead and do the averages on the free agency additions, the New Orleans Saints get a 91.5, which is an A. I don't know. I really liked our free agency. I thought a lot of the players we got were completely justified. I dig it. Yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Expect another video coming out soon, and for sure some streams coming up. I really appreciate you tuning in and sticking with me throughout my stupid teenage boy endeavors that I just disappear sometimes because I'm a teenage boy. That's kind of what I do. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.